I'm trying to get on TikTok now. So my whole thing last couple of days has been watching people and trying to find what I'm feel comfortable in doing over and over again. Like I see people doing like reactions. It's like I don't really want to react every day.
But I will say this because I know you're on IG. What else are you on?
Everything.
Okay, so how long have you been on TikTok now?
I've been on TikTok for like since it came out. I just don't be on it.
Like as far
like
as
because a lot of these apps they be reaching out to artists. So like we have accounts,
right?
Like when I first made the TikTok, I think a girl on there had what like a 500,000 followers, but it was like Bigo. You remember Bigo, or was the new app Bigo or whatever they got where they be ice cream.
Yeah,
that app was nothing at first until people started getting paid on it. Same thing with TikTok. So when by the time TikTok popped, I look back, I got followers, I got a video with like 100,000 views, and I'm like, oh, this is popping now?
Yeah.
That's the only thing in music is like, because I'm not a social, I'm a musician. So we don't be hip to the new thing that dropped, the new app that dropped, and like, okay, you got to build the fan base on here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like creators, that's their plus, because you can it's so many platforms to create rather than music is only on speakers.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
do you feel pressure to do that? To like tap into that creative side with TikTok and everything?
Yeah, because in today's age, it's like music ain't enough no more. Like I grew up not knowing no artists, right? Like not knowing them personally, but only accepting their art. Yeah. So that's why when I was stuff with R. Kelly pop out, a lot of people, you got to think, a lot of people ain't that deep. I was never a go read the magazines or go find out what a person got going on. I just enjoyed the music.
Right.
So it was like, now I'm seeing, like, I'm watching people who don't got bigger songs than me get booked in all these shows and loved because of their entertaining side.
Yeah.
I watch people get 1 million followers, go do a show, don't nobody know, no words. I go do it, rock the whole thing, and I'm like, I'm confused, but I'm just confused. So I'm realizing, like, bro, people just want to know. It's like that's just what the world is today.
Yeah,
I can either get mad or I can get on there. I always call it chucking and jiving because I hate chucking and jiving, bro. I feel like when you good at something, like if I'm good at basketball, bro, I shouldn't have to chuck and jive.
Yeah,
I get politics. But it's a thin line between chucking and jiving and politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted to be that guy. So that's why I say I'm doing it, but I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it to where I don't feel like I'm just doing something to do it.
Right.
And then B, I don't want to feel like I gave up on me.
Yeah.
Because like I said.
And you can sense it.
I watched Will Smith go from being the coolest person in the world in my book to on the ground like this nigga out of pocket. And that's one of my favorite like entertainers, like movies, comedy, music, everything.
Right.
And he was cool until I knew him.
Yeah.
And knew what was going on in his house and I was just like, this nigga, man.
Yeah.
It
can be very
but then on the
good
same
or very
sense,
bad.
Denzel, I be forgetting his wife's name, but he is a icon.
Right.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Except for like a clip where he'll say something that was inspirational. But he's not about to be on that eating breakfast telling you how he feel about this topic or that. Like that's just the type of person I've studied and wanted to be like. So it's kind of hard to get out of that.
Yeah, and you have to find that balance because it's funny that you mentioned Denzel because Michael B. Jordan, it was an interview with him mentioning that he spoke with Denzel and essentially Denzel told him less is more. Like, you're a big movie star, like giving these people less is actually going to give them more. You don't want to be doing like you said, telling these people what you eating and getting doing your morning routine and all that. Nah, because that waters it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the same sense, for most people, because not everyone's Denzel Washington or Michael B. Jordan, you have to give some type of presence, especially on social media. But you want to be authentic. You want to be true. You don't want to give too much. You don't want to give too little. It's about finding that balance that works best with you. And
because the last thing I want to do is get on that moment like this nigga lame.
Exactly.
And to be me doing something I ain't even want to do.
And that's what'll make someone call it lame. Not because you doing you and your authentic self, your authentic form. Nah, because we can sense when someone's doing some bullshit on social media just to try to get some engagement out of it. That is so easy to tell. And when you're doing it, that's what makes it corny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you can tell when someone's on social media just doing their thing, just being authentic, and you're like, dang, that's tough. Whether it's technically in or not, if it's authentic, that's what's going to make it.
But I'm going to tell you what drives the world crazy. You got those people doing that, you watching everything else go. You authentic yourself, you true, you doing this, but you watching the zesties and the pranking people and the old folks doing all that, and it go. And it make you feel crazy because you sitting here like, I'm literally trying to do the right thing and everything else around me is working that ain't the right thing.
Right.
That's where the pressure fold.
Yeah.
People just end up doing the wrong thing, dog.
Shit, bro. That literally happened.
And I done
me.
had my moments, bro. I done had to delete videos on my phone that I didn't try to. Because I feel like me and my brothers are the funniest people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But when we sitting there, gotta be funny,
mm-hmm.
or like if it don't feel funny, like watching my funny over ain't as funny as when it happened.
Right.
Or like, oh, it was fun. Let me do it one more time.
Yeah.
Let me do it one more. Me and my brothers talk about that. When we see somebody crying on the internet, we be like, how many times did you do that?
Which is crazy.
And did you watch it? Because there's nothing you watch before post. You don't just post.
Right.
You look at yourself crying while you wipe your tears off and be like,
oh yeah, that
I don't look sad enough. One more time.
Yo, that shit is sick.
And they be like, okay, that's the one.
Yeah.
Hashtag sad. Like, I can't even do that. Like, if I'm mad or sad, I'm not even, my phone ain't even in my space. I'm trying to gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, so like, from that perspective, when you fighting against that, and now you doing that, then convince this person that, oh, they really trust us. We're personable to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they and then you got the people that say, why they crying on the phone?
Yeah.
But for everything, it's a 50-50. You got them people, and then you got the people who like, oh my God, I love you more. You're so transparent. I want to come to your show. I don't know any of your songs though.
Right.
And it gets frustrating as an artist. Cause like I said, I know it's artists out here who nice at what they do, but they just not that. I can't do that. What you want me to do? Like, that's what I be asking myself and my fan. Like, what do y'all want? That's what I think artists do that. Like, ask your fans, like, what do you truly want from me?
Yeah. And I'd imagine a lot go through that because, and I'm comparing it, as we're speaking of it, to podcasting. Because something I recently went through was I slowed down with my podcast, especially like this year, 2025, I slowed down because this happened to me. And, now kind of reflecting and kicking myself for having this mindset. But my thing was I started podcasting in 2020. Nobody I knew had one. If they did, it would fall off like that. Time goes on, especially like the past 2 years, 16 months, something like that. Everyone has a podcast now. And mine, especially moving to Charlotte and being as successful in the city, I mean, everywhere, but specifically in Charlotte, because that was my intention when I started it. For it to do that, I never sat back and was like, yo, I really did that shit. My thing was, why is it not as big as this person's podcast who just started and they blew up? Like, not enough people tuning into my shit. Everyone has one, so now mine is going to be watered down, which caused, and that those negative thoughts put me in a negative mindset, which resulted to negative engagement with the podcast, the episodes that I had put out. And I'm like, yo, I'm really creating a space that's drawing everything down. So lately I had to sit back and yo, you really that motherfucking dude when it comes to that shit.
Pop it.
So many people know I'm out. Oh, don't you got the podcast? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that's me. But I don't even think of it like that. I'm like, yo, my shit ain't good enough. You know what I mean? Now everyone has one, so it's watered down now. I'm like, yo, once I get back to the mindset I'm in it now, Tubbs hits me up. Yo, Luke gonna be, you know what I'm saying, can we come by? I had 2 other ones that I recently did that I'm gonna put out, you know what I'm saying, weeks from now. And I'm like, those came once my energy shifted. But when you hold yourself back, because whether it's everyone does what you do, or like we were talking about, you see someone that's popping, that made it, that's somewhere where you want to be, but you're not there yet, and they started later, that shit will hold you down. And that messes up a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people, because they're like, why am I not there now? And they may completely quit. Luckily, I was just in a slump, which I pulled myself out of, but it's people that don't get out of that hole. They stay there and end up just hanging up.
It get wicked, man, because it's a mental fight, bro. And I think